in here. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Odessa, The Dark Crusade, Season 2. This evening's scene takes place in the Prince's Elysium, a large marble building, probably more akin to a palace than a place of gathering. People are stripped of their weapons at the door as they enter. After all, this is Elysium. Unless you hold a title dedicated to the princedom, you may not come in armed. Sorry, sidetrack. So, with that in mind, we will join the gathering of the great and many, mostly the many, as they enter. So, we'll do an introduction going from my left to right, as is often best. So, Mouse, you are up first.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Mouse will walk in. Um, Today, honestly, the best you can get from them is height. So they're on the smaller side of the stature thing, height wise. Small builds. They have bandages covering pretty much everywhere except for their eyes. So it's, kind of face and neck, and then their hands. And then they are in a comically oversized, kind of like monk's robe. And I mean comically oversized. Um, like it's down past their hands, and so when they kind of lift their hands up, they just get like the little sleeves, like we're in some anime, you know. Because
By the way, important question: has Mott met the prince, or is this their first scene? Or
this,
not Mott, but has Mouse met the prince, or is this the first scene? My apologies. I remember Mott.
I remember Mott. No, this is the first scene I'm doing in this place after being approved like a long time ago. So,
Also, you have vague bioluminescence, so you kind of glow. It's like, ooh.
well, it glows. It glows if I want it to glow.
Oh, was it? I thought it was like it was always on. That's cool. I like that. Literally, just I need a light. I am a light.
Yeah, just like hold on, let me take down my hood and remove some of these bandages. Yeah.
All right. So the next one up is going to be Irene.
Oh, wow, I'm used to being at the end. Okay. Yeah, Irene will step out into the streets, sticking to the shadows, wearing a black cloak, hood up, you know, kind of slowly walking, keeping an eye on everything that is surrounding her because there's evil everywhere. Right, yeah. Until she'll reach Elysium. And yeah, she will put her weapon. Actually, she doesn't have her weapons with her because why the fuck not? So she'll just walk in, show that she has no weapons, and will just look around first. Again, kind of seeing who's there before uh, actually pushing the hood back, revealing like that strawberry blonde hair of hers. That's sort of typical for her. You don't see that a lot in these parts. And we'll walk in.
All right, here. In that case, Jesse, you're up next, sir.
He's not back yet.
He's not back yet.
He
You
BRB'd and I just see him walk up the stairs.
okay? Okay, cool. In that case, the doorway to the Elysium slides open, and you will see two individuals entering. One of them is here pictured. He is dressed in armor and a long robe-like trench coat over his shoulders. Wow, the doorbell. Once again, the problem is we have a phantom doorbell. So continue. But he is dressed as he is shown. There's a huge ruby that is in the center of the armor that glints in the early evening light. His hair is white, and he has this sallow corpse-like appearance, denoting a Cappadocian. Also, fun fact: it is even displayed on his fucking picture. He has a large crescent moon-shaped burn in his cheek that looks like a raw open wound that doesn't seem to close. It's been very badly covered over with makeup. I emphasize very badly. And there was a young lady with him, and I will let the young lady do her own description.
The young lady is walking very close behind Sebastian. Bastian? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Bastian.
Bastian. His left shoulder. She is dressed in, I suppose, what would be considered leather armor. And she, of course, is not armed. She doesn't necessarily need to be. But she's, I would guess you would consider her to be rather tall for a woman. She's about 5'7". She's very, very slight, almost. She has very dark hair. She looks to be, I suppose you could consider her to be mortal if it wasn't for the bright green glowing eyes that she has. But yes, she's following very close behind Bastian, behind his left shoulder.
I will point out Bastian does not remove his sword. When you're the sheriff, you get little perks like that. But he looks around the room and he smiles congenially. If Jesse is back, now would be a good time for him to intro. If he is not, we'll continue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, so for the metric entrance. Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. So in the darknesses, there are probably guards around the palace. Suddenly, not for them, of course, appears a huge man. He's 6.7 feet tall, 6.75 inches tall. He's huge, and he is not wearing a lot of clothes. He's wearing leather armor, but you can see it's battle worn. On his back, there is a more like an axe, not so much a battle axe, although it could be used for fighting. It's more of an axe used for cutting trees. On his belt, however, there are 2 swords with hooks on the end that definitely are used for battle. He approaches the entrance, not being a very regular person at an Elysium. He still has been taught what could or should go on there, so he expects to be stopped at some point.
One of the guards will probably raise an eyebrow and ask you to relinquish your weapons.
With a grunt of annoyance, he will start to remove the obvious weapons, and then the not so obvious weapons. A dagger from his calf, and a set of what seems to be like punching daggers, although they're made of bone. As they look at him, they notice one very, very obvious thing. He is missing an eye. He's not having an eye. Also, his skin is cold, some ways with luminescent. It's an ice color, bit of a corpse that has laid in ice. And then he walks on.
Alright, you walk inside. You will see a motley gathering of individuals currently within the Elysium, having what could only be described as pleasant conversation. You know what? Bastian sweeps through the room, because he sweeps when he walks. And he walks towards the bandaged figure.
To look up.
My. I haven't seen the likes of you before. I'm curious, leprosy or scarring?
Identification.
Smart. My apologies. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. He extends his hand.
They will reach out and kind of take it, but of course they don't care enough to try to dig their hand out from through the sleeve. So it's just sleeve.
I'm shaking sleeve.
You're shaking sleeve.
I'm fine with this.
And
I'm curious if you're my cousin or not. Many Cappadocians tend to look as you do.
no.
And to what family do you belong?
I oh god, if I could talk, Jesus Christ, I need water. Okay. I am a Zmies.
Just the other day, he says, turning to the woman at his side, just the other day I was saying the city required more of a cultured, refined, quasi-spiritual, and a little bit freaky of a vibe. And more Zamitsi show up right on cue.
As you said.
Freaky.
He puts his hands on either side of your face, right? And he leans in and does the double kiss, one on each cheek. Ciao, Bente.
Nyx will actually say something to Bastien in Italian, and she just says, Bellissima.
So, darling little robed Zamitsi, what is your name? You must tell me. I hunger to know.
I can't stand your fucking character already. God damn it, Evan.
He is just an unlikable bastard. Don't worry about it.
It's just
All of
Ambergino.
your characters.
It's just Ambergino Jr., you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. I could get into a socially reclusive, bookish, slightly odd, gender fluid character and look at you and go, it's a Kim character.
Yeah, bitch. I proudly display that shit. Gender fluid to the max. Oh. Yeah. Thank God Mouse doesn't feel emotion. Otherwise, Mouse would probably just be freaking the fuck out. But nah. Haha, path of fucking metamorphosis, bitches. So Mouse will just kind of stand there, and they'll blink once, and then they'll say, I am called Mouse.
Really? That's interesting. Why?
Because that is the name I choose to go by.
I like it. She's a very. But they have actually. Does it sound male or female, or is it very difficult to tell?
It's difficult to tell.
Okay. They have a sense of oomph, a sense of gravitas, a sense of I am here. I love everything about it.
God.
Where are my Where are my terrible manners? Bastian Giovanni, Sheriff of Edessa, charmed once, charmed twice, and charmed thrice to make your acquaintance.
It is good to meet you as well, Bastion.
Allow me to introduce you to my darling companion, Nyx. If Nyx wants to be social. Do you want to be social, Hugh?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I do
no.
believe so. And she'll actually extend her hand to Mouse.
Once again, it's they'll reach out, but it's just mainly sleeve. I mean, their hands under there, but
She's not handing her hand to you to shake. She's handing her hand to you to kiss.
Shake it. Just shake it.
So to be fair, she probably has bigger balls than anybody in this room except probably Bastion. But she hands her hand to you to kiss. All the same.
Oh boy.
Do I go with that etiquette with a specialty in courtly manners, or do I just shake the hand?
Do you have it? Do you have all that etiquette?
Yeah, I'm a Zamisa.
God.
Of course, I have all the fucking etiquette. Mouse is very fucking polite. Will Mouse use the etiquette? That's up to you to find out. So
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Mouse will. Mouse is a genius. Their fucking training will come in, so they'll take the hand and wah 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 wah.
She gives a smile.
We like it. We like everything about it. I shall speak to the prince immediately about getting you a house, domain, and a donkey.
A donkey would be good. Give me a new subject to test on.
Like everything about her. Like everything about her. On a side note, he looks at Nix. Make a note. Get a donkey.
Noted. Of
Thank you.
course.
We need more donkeys. It's a thing.
She actually like verbally she doesn't say get a donkey, but she's kind of mouths it.
Would you like a male or a female donkey? What age would you like the donkey to be? Give me specifics.
It does not matter. In the end, it will become new.
As do all things, I'm sure.
Indeed.
We have an agreement. You will be supplied one donkey. In exchange, you shall always simply and forever be Mouse. We have an agreement.
But I am Mouse. That is my name.
Excellent. Then you shall continue to be so.
This clothing will be Mouse. I will not always be Mouse, but that is the name that all of me decides to use.
There's definitely poetry in that. Poetry. Confusing, flesh-altering poetry.
They just kind of look at them. That's all they tend to do is just look up because they're so fucking short.
I have a question. Because yes, Mouse, that is your name. Could you do something about this? He taps the scar on the side of his face. I would be willing to give you a minor boon in exchange, if you would be able to have it wiped off my face.
More than likely, I would be able to. Unless you got some like weird
Will you
shit OC trying to make me look like a fool.
Basically, he has flesh of the corpse, which means I can't naturally heal it, but you can vicissitude it better.
Vicissitude that shit back together.
Nyx will actually kind of touch the scar with the back of her hand and just go.
If it helps, I die on the inside, having this accursed, blasphemous thing on my face. You know, the Bruja who did this to me, he started to talk about God and the nature of his soul, and that I would never have his soul. Then I drank his soul, and everything got complicated.
Bastion knows Nyx, and when she says God, she just sneers a little bit.
Tell me, Mouse, do you believe in God?
Nyx is very attentive to what Mouse is about to say. She actually, she will fold her arms in front of her and move forward a little bit to stand by Bastien's
All that's
side.
going through Kim's head at the moment is, Evan, I hate you. Continue.
Yeah, because I took theology, but my fucking theology special spec for Mouse is fucking heresy.
Oh, that's mwah, mwah.
So so Mouse will just kind of
Oh, sorry. To answer the question in the side chat, 'cause it's actually important and pertinent. We're in the Princess Elysium.
Mouse will sort of shrug and say, I believe in what I need to.
I like it. It's simple. It tells us to fuck off without telling us to fuck off, and it keeps her business, and it keeps their business their own. I like everything about it.
I kind of bow at that. I'm just like,
Just a question: Is Irene, is she present at the cart or what?
Yeah, she's in the Elysium.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Madeline enters. Just walks in as she has a custom of doing. Just looks around. She spots Irene.
I was gonna say Irene dives a little deeper into the shadows, but you know that's fine if you spot her
She
before
just
that.
looks at her for a moment, smiles. We'll just have a look around. She sees new faces. Just
Smiles will be returned.
and she will go over and introduce herself. She will approach probably Moro first.
All right. Mora walked into the Elysium. Is suddenly he's sort of standing in the middle of the Elysium, waiting for it to be approached, assuming that that's the natural order of things. To be confronted by people who want to know who the fuck you are. So yeah, we as you approach him, we'll be looking at you. He's a huge, broad-shouldered man. He looks terribly rugged, and his face is like a corpse. But a corpse that's been lying in ice and water and cold and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he's staring at you with only one eye.
She curtsies. Good evening.
Good day.
Might I have your name?
If you give me yours first. My name... Oh, wait, never mind. Elysiums. My name is Moro.
Very well. My name is
Moro de
Madeline.
Hoyne. Madeline.
Yes. A good pleasure to meet you.
So you are the sheriff or primogen or...
I hope not. Well,
Could you tell me who it is?
the sheriff, I believe, as she looks around, spots Bastian. That's his... Yeah, Bastian. I do believe that it is Bastian and Scylla of Clan Cappadocius, who is currently the sheriff.
Moro then sort of nods at Madeline and then walks out of the conversation and walks straight over to Bastian.
So needless to say, I was saying to my bootmaker that he needed to use the finest Corinthian that... Oh, hello.
My apologies. I've heard that you are the sheriff of this domain.
When last I checked.
And I'd like to introduce myself as being new here. My name is Morozehonye. He says it with a very thick Russian accent.
Never ask me to pronounce that 3 times fast. Continue.
I'm here on invitation to find a friend of mine.
And who might that be?
He goes by the name of... I have to look it up.
On a side note, Kim, I've told you Blue Book buying you a donkey.
Sure. He is of Clan Nosferatu, like myself.
Oh, sure. I can't say that I'm acquainted with the gentleman. However, I will make sure that if he and I cross paths, I send him to you. Or I can look into this matter for you, if you would like.
No, I will be able to track him down eventually. Don't worry about it. Just let it be known that I will be here. As of now, I do not think...
Technically, you need to announce yourself to the prince. I can facilitate such a meeting.
Does the prince also hold domain outside the city?
Not that I know of. In
Good.
theory, the entire city and surrounding lands are her domain, so...
Then I will be staying in her lands, but not in the city. I will travel in and out of the city when I can. But I'd rather not stay here.
You will still need her permission to remain in the domain proper.
Indeed. Do you know where I can find her?
Not at this moment in time, but as I said, I am happy to facilitate the meeting. I will give her your best wishes and say that you wish a short audience to announce your presence in the city. We arrange it. It's all good. We have some good pasta afterwards. Everybody's happy.
Thank you. He then kind of turns around looking who else is here.
There's a Nix and a mouse.
Yeah, at the meantime, Madeline would have moved over. Probably to Nix first. She would just have said, "Good evening."
Yeah, well, Nyx is standing right beside Bastion. Since you were not here for our introductions, Nyx is a very, I guess you could consider her to be rather tall. She's about 5'7", 5'8", maybe. She's very slight. She's wearing leather armor. She has a bunch of health. The only thing that gives away her existence is the fact that she has very bright green glowing eyes. She has very dark hair, almost black, if not black. Very angular face. But yes, she's standing very, very close. Not like right up next to him, but very, very close to Bastion.
Madeline just stands there and smiles at you. Looks at you.
She'll look back and raise an eyebrow. May I help you?
I said good evening.
Oh.
I hope to have your name. I do not believe we have met each other before.
You may call me Nyx.
And you may call me Sister Madeline.
One moment, my fine Nosferatu friend. As he kind of just turns his body half-turn to Sister Madeline and he says, "Sister, I had a business proposition for you."
Oh. Do tell.
Yes. One major boon and I will eliminate your little hunter problem. What is his name? Rafik.
Well, that is tempting. These hunters, there are more. This Rafik is not alone. There are others, and just eliminating him will be not too prudent. We need to know what he knows, but more importantly, who he knows. So just eliminating him at the moment is probably not the best course of action. But thank you for the offer.
I'm going to just turn on my aura sight because he literally just dropped a piece of information he shouldn't have known right in your face. He's just like, hey, look at the information. I know this. So I want to see what Madeline's emotional state is. Oh, that's sad.
How many?
Just 2, so I just get your dominant emotion.
It's not surprised. That's not the dominant one. It's alert.
I thought it was
or
1 before 2 was dominant.
She seems tense somehow.
Indeed, he's been asking some very interesting questions about certain organizations. Charming fellow, I'm sure, but then again, hunters were never really my cup of tea.
It should not be either any of us types. But yes, he has. It was one of my servants began to, express certain concerns about his newfound interest for me and my affairs.
Yes, this is the darling Sophia.
I apologize.
He said, this is the darling Sophia.
One of them, yes. But if it is, if he is making waves, he seems to be wanting to join people around a common cause. So something will have to be done quite soon. The problem is...
Absolutely.
Oh, please continue.
No, by all means, please go ahead.
The problem is, I know for a fact that there are a lot more hunters than just him. And that he has been in the city, and these concerns are semi-recent for him. Meaning that someone has awoken this in him. And we need to know.
Absolutely. Remember, we only... when we defeated Master Haman, we only took 2 of his major Google's prisoner, both of them my prisoners, he had. He had a large collection of others who are now using their nascent influences to strike against us, including at least 1 or 2 in religious quarters. That is, of course, not including, is it Al-Tayyib? Yes, Al-Tayyib. That is, of course, not including Master Al-Tayyib, who himself deeply entrenched within the religious quarters and has been stirring up interesting parties and seeing us all meet the dawn.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Nyx will look at Bastian. Like, she gives him the look that she normally gives him when she's like, do I need to beat somebody up for you?
He shakes his head. He seems rather pleasant and upbeat. He'll say, Sister Madeline, allow me to introduce, grabs them by the shoulders and just kind of thrusts them forward. Look at Mouse. This is Mouse. We like Mouse.
Hello, Mouse. Your unusual name.
Hold on. Did this dude just grab Mouse and push it forward?
Yes.
Kind of grabbed her by the shoulders and just, like, not necessarily yeeted, but kind of, like, hoisted her in front of him, like, it's a mouse!
Oh my fucking god. Mouse will stop Mouse will kind of slowly, eerily, like, look over their shoulder and up, and just kind of say, "Please do not touch me again without my consent."
I'm so tempted to lean in and kiss the forehead. Don't
Do
tempt
it.
me.
Yeah.
You know what? He's not going to be. What he does is he just kind of unceremoniously drops her, like. There we go.
Plonk.
Oh my god. There's a little thud as Mouse hits the fucking ground because they're tiny. They're not a rag doll, okay? Look, they always
I
have
mean-
their bones with them because they can't get rid of their bones. Why do this?
If it helps, I thought they were cuddly in the brief seconds I was holding them.
Mouse is an emotionless sack of dead flesh. But anyway, so Mouse will kind of nod to Madeline and say, "Hello. As has been said, I am Mouse." Mouse, by the way, is because I guess probably description because it's like my first scene, so I'm probably gonna be saying it a lot. Mouse is very short, very tiny. But they are in a comically oversized monk's robe, and their face is covered in bandages. And it kind of goes all the way down, so you can't really see anything other than their eyes, which are a brown today.
Well, Mouse, as been stated before, I am Sister Madeline. A pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine, sister.
Oh, I am Ancilla of Clan Lusombra. And she looks over to Nynx. Can I assume that you are of Bastian's clan?
No.
You want to
She'll actually look at Madeline, and her face becomes very stern, and she says, "No, you may not."
Oh. Well, I do not wish to presume, but I did. What clan are you from?
I am a Gorgon. That's the nickname. That's the nickname for Lamias.
If Bastion's Orisite is still up, is it still up?
Yeah, it stays up the same.
Fair enough. You'll see that Madeline's dominant emotion shifts to excited as she just goes over and curtsies and bows really deeply in an honor to meet you. She will stay bowed.
In Italian, in Italian, Bastard just says, "This is the one with the pain cult."
Nyx will look at Bastian and shrug. An honor to meet you too, Sister Madeline.
Likewise. If you have a moment, I do believe the two of us should have a moment to talk together later.
Nyx will look at Bastian for his permission to go and talk with Sister Madeline for a moment.
I very much doubt someone's going to try and assassinate me in the middle of Elysium, so by all means, go, have fun, spread your wings, flutter.
I can't really tell if you were being sarcastic or not, but okay. And Nyx will look at Sister Madeline and she says, "We can speak now. I don't believe I will be free later."
Very well. And, she will just she'll just walk a bit away, and she will just say, "So, you are here to make Bastian safe, although he seems quite capable, just on the face of it."
Yeah, we've been friends for quite some time.
Yet you are of a bloodline that I have known a little, but a very crucial time.
What of it?
She will hug you.
She, when Sister Madeline goes to hug her, she will put her hands up. Please, do not touch me. I do not know you. Those that I do not know
Oh, but you
should
do.
should
I do believe
not make
that
themselves so familiar with me, especially upon a
I
first
am
meeting.
quite certain that the Lamia share one thing with myself.
And that is pray.
And that is our mother.
That piques her interest because you are not a Lamia.
It is uncommon, I admit. But I do believe we share our Dark Mother and her warm, sometimes harrowing and trying embrace.
Perhaps this is a conversation for another time, given the fact that there are so many
Quite
eager
so.
ears in this
Quite
place.
so. She smiles.
I shall speak with Bastian, and we shall arrange a time at a later date to speak more on this subject. You have
Quite.
piqued my interest, however, and it is very nice, refreshing almost, to meet a fellow daughter of our mother.
She smiles. She will just head back. Quite
She's
insane.
actually sizing Madeline up a little bit.
For the record, Bastion's going to be in conversation with Morrow when they come back.
Oh yeah.
Which point?
You two go ahead because that some time has elapsed now. So
Mora will
but-
be there. Sorry. I had to do
So, what
something
is it that
get
you
so
wish?
sick.
What is it that you wish to accomplish in your time in the domain, other than finding your friend? Or are you attempting to set up residence here?
It's a good question. I think I would like to see if I can be able to be a proper hunter.
What constitutes a proper hunter?
To me, that's a hunter that can take down good or measurable targets.
I tell you what, Master Morrow, you've intrigued me. I'm willing to make you a deal. Are you listening?
He tilts his head, he's not responding vocally.
You're missing an eye. What would you say if I could give you another eye that would allow you to see in ways you never thought possible and hunt things you never thought you could hunt?
You see his other eye roll back a little, trying to see the potential. And then he's like, so how would this happen?
Quite simply, in a couple of nights' time, say a week or so, you come to me, I put a new eye in the socket, at which point you can see an entirely new place with entirely new prey. Then you will simply owe me one minor boon.
Fine.
He extends his hand.
Moro looks at the hand and then grabs it, but not normally grabbing it like other people would grab the hand. He grabs the arm like
Okay, the old
a
style.
Viking would do it. Yep. And he grabs it
That's fine.
with a incredible strength.
What constitutes an incredible strength?
Like he is using 2 points of potence. He's not using it for damage. It just
Okay.
and it's cold as hell. So you'll
Bastion will
feel
respond with. I was just gonna say, Bastion will respond because he thinks that this is a point of respect. He will respond with his 3 points of potence.
that will
He's
actually
not doing
that will actually make him smile. His huge maw. You can see a huge set of teeth.
But he kind of does this thing where his head just looks off to the left-hand side. He'll just be like, at which point you'll just see him break down laughing. There's literally he's not looking at Mara anymore. He's kind of looking off into the crowd of kindred, but he is just laughing and laughing and laughing. No, my apologies. I should be more professional. And should I call you Master Mouse or Mistress Mouse? Master Mouse sounds better, I think. Yes, Master Mouse. Yes.
Mouse is fine.
Mouse is fine. Are we agreed then? One minor boon, and in exchange you will fix this controversy that is my face.
Yes.
Very good. We are going to have another one of your patented sleeve handshakes.
They'll shrug and just lift their hand out again.
There's a sleeve handshake. Like,
Yes.
Moro will then release the grip that he has done there before. And he will look at a mouse.
He's gotta look way down.
Yeah. He's
It's
going
gotta
to
look way
down.
up. Mouse will look up and blink and then say, "It is good to meet you. I am Mouse."
It's a good name for you.
For this particular body.
You switch
Sometimes-
bodies.
Not exactly switch, manipulate, transform, but I like to believe they're all new bodies.
Madeline heard that, and I have 2 successes on a manipulation subterfuge roll, and I'm spending a willpower. Just declaring that.
What, you don't like zombies? So they ain't allowed in the city or something?
I don't know.
So Moro is looking at her and says, "My name is Moro the Honye, but you may call me Moro. It's easier for people here."
And it is a very nice name.
It is not.
if it helps, I've been trying to mentally pronounce the last name for like 30 minutes and fucking up every single time.
It is not a beautiful name,
Why not?
but it is the one I am given. Where I come from, it's not beautiful. That's why.
Yes, but beauty only lasts so long. Strength, for some, is considered more important. And yours is a strong name.
I found out that strength is never in names, but in actions. Miss.
You may call me Nick.
People are free to roll a perception empathy roll if they want to.
On what?
On Madeline.
I'm not watching you, sorry. I won't.
No, that's fine.
Nick is like, excuse me, I've got to talk to other people.
That's fine. Well, I was under the assumption this is in response to something that Madeline heard from the other conversations. So
Sure.
I'm assuming that they have rejoined the others.
Yes.
Moro looks at Nick, tries
Nick.
to size her up.
Nick.
Are you carrying? Sorry, is Nit or Nick?
Nyx. NYX.
Oh, Nix. Right. Sorry. That's sound. So he's looking at Nix. He's trying to size her up, combat-wise. Are you carrying any visual weapons?
No, because I am not. I don't have any position at the moment. Unless
give
the sheriff,
me 20 seconds.
Unless the sheriff has given me permission to carry weapons.
Bastion just kind of gives a 1 moment sign. Like literally, he just turns around. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, assemble kindred. I will make a formal declaration of this later. However, this shall do for now. In accordance with my office as Sheriff of Edessa, I hereby name the Lamia known as Nyx, a hound of the domain. Continue.
She just kind of beams at Bastien when he says that. Like he just made her super duper happy.
At which point he unbuckles his own sword belt and puts it around Nyx's waist. Like, here you go.
Thank you, sir. So yes, technically, yep. Now she's armed.
Oh well, it happens while he's looking at it, and he just looks at the weapon and looks at you and smiles.
I will say, Jesse, one point that you might find interesting. If you want to roll me it'd probably be. Yeah, your intelligence melee. It's a really weird dice pool, but it would probably be intelligence melee.
Oh,
or craft if you have any.
Sorry, what? If what did I have any?
Intelligence melee or intelligence craft if you have any.
I'm gonna actually try and bring up my character sheet because there's some important details that Moros might notice about Nyx. I hope the call doesn't drop.
Sure, I have to look up my intelligence. Right, let's.
Yay, the call didn't drop.
Melee, okay. That is which difficulty?
I'd say difficulty 6 because it's actually really obvious.
Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Actually, 6 successes.
Bastion's sword is not made out of ordinary metal. It's made out of something really fuckety looking. It's like it's almost like it's corroded and rotten, but at the same time, it has all of the stability of ordinary steel. But it even feels vaguely off-putting.
I have a shitload of dots in survival. Is it made from a bone?
No.
Bad. That would be interesting.
I was going to say you don't have like any occult or connect anything that your character could equate to the Shadowlands, do you?
Not that I know of.
Cool. It's out of character. It's based.
Evan.
Beg your pardon?
I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
my soul is made from people. What do you want from me?
It's made of it's made of people, as in animal human bones.
It's made from people's souls.
Souls? No, I wouldn't know that.
So something that Moros will notice is Nyx has a very intimidating demeanor about herself. She has the bruiser merit, so she does, like I said, she does look very intimidating.
Yeah, I have to figure out if I find you intimidating. Sure, your demeanor will be intimidating. I still think Moro would still think he can crush you. So sure. But he will look at you and size you up. Then now you're a hound. He's like, so that's the skill set you wear.
Yeah.
But he won't say that, obviously.
Okay.
And he will just he will shrug. Nice to meet you.
And you, Moro.
And then he will just look around the room. There's someone he should be nice to. And since I do believe I've spoken to everyone in the room at this point, he then looks at the sheriff and says, I'll try to be here at least every night until I've had my proper introduction.
It shouldn't take the prince too overly long to find 5 minutes to welcome you to the domain. I will also give you my vote of approval when it comes to the matter being brought forward. Also, if you find anything of interest or note in your time in the wilderness, I am always happy to pay boons for such information.
He nods. And then he starts to leave.
Nyx is gonna go stand by Bastian again. I have to go because probably have to do another scene. And I'm gonna have to sleep soon. But it was fun.
I was going to say, this is probably a good place to leave it if everyone is happy with that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm a hound now. That's a new thing for me.
So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Odessa, The Dark Crusade, Season 2. Have a pleasant evening.